The story of Joseph, found in the book of Genesis, is one of the most compelling narratives in the Bible. It is a tale of betrayal, perseverance, and divine providence that has captivated readers for centuries. Joseph's journey from being sold into slavery by his own brothers to becoming the second in command in Egypt is a powerful testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the boundless grace of God. This story not only highlights the trials and triumphs of Joseph, but also reveals profound truths about forgiveness, faith, and the sovereignty of God. Joseph was the 11th son of Jacob and the firstborn of Rachel, Jacob's beloved wife. From a young age, Joseph was favored by his father, who made him a richly ornamented robe, often referred to as the coat of many colors. This preferential treatment, combined with Joseph's own dreams of greatness, incited deep jealousy and resentment among his older brothers. Joseph dreamt of sheaves of wheat and celestial bodies bowing down to him, which he eagerly shared with his family. These dreams, interpreted as signs of his future dominance, only fueled his brothers' hatred. The brothers' animosity reached a boiling point when they plotted to kill Joseph. However, Reuben, the eldest, intervened, suggesting they throw him into a cistern instead, with the intention of rescuing him later. While Reuben was away, the brothers saw a caravan of Ishmaelite traders and decided to sell Joseph as a slave for 20 pieces of silver. Stripped of his robe and his freedom, Joseph was taken to Egypt, while his brothers deceived their father into believing he had been killed by a wild animal. In Egypt, Joseph was sold to Potiphar, the captain of Pharaoh's guard. Despite his dire circumstances, Joseph remained faithful to God, and his diligence and integrity soon earned him Potiphar's trust. Potiphar placed Joseph in charge of his entire household, recognizing that the Lord was with him and made everything he did prosper. However, Joseph's fortunes took a drastic turn when Potiphar's wife falsely accused him of attempting to seduce her. Angered and betrayed, Potiphar had Joseph thrown into prison. Even in prison, Joseph's faith never wavered. He found favor with the prison warden, who put him in charge of all the prisoners. Joseph's ability to interpret dreams came to the forefront when he successfully explained the dreams of Pharaoh's cupbearer and baker, who were also imprisoned. Joseph accurately predicted the cupbearer's reinstatement and the baker's execution. He asked the cupbearer to remember him and mention him to Pharaoh, but the cupbearer forgot, leaving Joseph in prison for 2 more years. Pharaoh was troubled by 2 dreams that none of his magicians or wise men could interpret. It was then that the cupbearer remembered Joseph and recommended him to Pharaoh. Joseph was brought before Pharaoh and, with God's guidance, interpreted the dreams as a warning of 7 years of abundance, followed by 7 years of severe famine. He advised Pharaoh to appoint a wise and discerning man to oversee the collection and storage of surplus grain during the years of plenty. Impressed by Joseph's wisdom and discernment, Pharaoh appointed him as the second in command of Egypt, giving him authority over the entire land. Joseph diligently implemented his plan, gathering and storing vast amounts of grain during the 7 prosperous years. When the famine struck, it affected not only Egypt, but also surrounding nations. People from all over came to Egypt to buy grain, including Joseph's brothers, who were sent by their father Jacob to procure food. Unrecognizable to his brothers, Joseph initially tested their integrity by accusing them of being spies and demanding they bring their youngest brother, Benjamin, to prove their honesty. When the brothers returned with Benjamin, Joseph hosted a meal for them, during which he secretly placed his silver cup in Benjamin's sack. Accused of theft, Benjamin was to be detained, but Judah offered himself in Benjamin's place, demonstrating a change of heart and a willingness to protect his family. Moved by their transformation and love for one another, Joseph revealed his identity to his brothers in a dramatic and emotional scene. Overwhelmed with emotion, Joseph forgave them, explaining that their actions, though intended for harm, were used by God to save many lives. Joseph invited his entire family to live in Egypt, providing them with the best land in Goshen. The reunion with his father Jacob was deeply touching, marking the end of years of separation and sorrow. Jacob, overjoyed to see his beloved son alive and well, blessed Pharaoh and settled in Egypt with his family. The move to Egypt marked a significant turning point for the Israelites, who would later become a great nation within the land. Joseph lived to be 110 years old, witnessing the growth and prosperity of his family in Egypt. Before his death, he made the Israelites swear to carry his bones out of Egypt when God would lead them back to the Promised Land, a promise fulfilled centuries later during the Exodus. Joseph's life story is a powerful testament to the providence of God, the importance of faith, and the transformative power of forgiveness. His journey from the depths of betrayal and slavery to the heights of power and reconciliation exemplifies the resilience of the human spirit and the unwavering faithfulness of God. Joseph's journey is marked by extraordinary resilience. From his brother's betrayal to the hardships he faced in Egypt, Joseph maintained an attitude of trust in God. He never allowed adverse circumstances to define him or prevent him from moving forward. Each challenge he faced was an opportunity to demonstrate his faith and character. At the height of his adversity in prison, he continued to act with integrity, earning the trust and respect of those around him. Joseph's resilience is a powerful example of how maintaining faith and hope, even in the most desperate situations, can lead to great achievements and keep us aligned with divine purpose. Joseph's ability to interpret dreams was a crucial gift in his rise to power in Egypt. This gift not only saved him from the obscurity of prison, but also gave him the opportunity to save countless lives during the years of famine. Interpreting Pharaoh's dreams demonstrated the wisdom and discernment given by God to Joseph, which were recognized even by the most powerful in Egypt. This ability to interpret dreams was more than a skill. It was a clear sign of divine presence and intervention in Joseph's life. It showed that God was guiding every step of his journey, preparing him for the crucial role he would play in the history of Egypt and his own family. One of the most emotional moments in Joseph's story is the reconciliation with his brothers. After years of suffering and separation, Joseph had the opportunity to seek revenge, but he chose forgiveness. This act of mercy and love not only restored his family, but also brought healing and redemption to all of them. Joseph understood that God's plans were greater than his personal grievances and that his suffering had a higher purpose. By forgiving his brothers, he not only followed the path of reconciliation, but also demonstrated the true nature of divine forgiveness. This episode underscores the importance of forgiveness and reconciliation as central elements in the life of anyone seeking to live according to God's principles. Joseph's life left a lasting legacy that transcended generations. He not only saved his own family from famine, but also established a leadership model based on integrity, wisdom, and dependence on God. His impact was felt not only during his lifetime, but also in subsequent generations who remembered his story as a testament to the power of faith and divine providence. Joseph became a symbol of hope and a model of how faithfulness to God can transform lives and circumstances. His story continues to inspire millions, reminding us that even in the darkest moments, the light of faith can guide us to the fulfillment of a greater purpose. The life of Joseph offers several profound lessons applicable to our own lives. His story teaches us about the power of forgiveness, the importance of resilience, and the need to trust in divine providence. Joseph's ability to forgive his brothers despite their heinous betrayal exemplifies the transformative power of mercy and grace. His unwavering faith and integrity in the face of adversity inspire us to remain steadfast and hopeful, even when circumstances seem insurmountable. Moreover, Joseph's rise from slavery to a position of great authority underscores the belief that God has a purpose for each of us and that our trials and tribulations can be part of a larger, divine plan. One of the most enduring themes in Joseph's story is that of forgiveness and reconciliation. Joseph's ability to forgive his brothers is a powerful demonstration of grace. Instead of seeking revenge, Joseph recognized the larger picture, that his suffering had a purpose and that God had used the betrayal for a greater good. This lesson is particularly relevant in our lives today, where holding on to grudges can prevent healing and restoration. Joseph's forgiveness not only restored his relationship with his family, but also brought peace and unity. It challenges us to rise above our hurts and offer forgiveness, understanding that it can lead to healing and reconciliation. Joseph's story is a testament to the importance of faith in divine providence. Despite the numerous setbacks and injustices he faced, Joseph never lost faith in God's plan. His life reminds us that even when we do not understand why we are going through difficult times, we can trust that God is at work, orchestrating events for our good and His glory. Joseph's unwavering faith and trust in God, even in the darkest moments, inspire us to hold on to our faith and believe that God has a purpose for our lives. His story encourages us to look beyond our immediate circumstances and trust in the divine plan, knowing that God is always in control. Throughout his life, Joseph demonstrated remarkable integrity and character. Whether he was serving as a slave in Potiphar's house, languishing in prison, or ruling as the second-in-command in Egypt, Joseph remained steadfast in his principles. His integrity earned him the trust and respect of those around him, paving the way for his eventual rise to power. Joseph's example teaches us the importance of maintaining our integrity, regardless of our circumstances. It reminds us that our character is one of our most valuable assets and that living with integrity can lead to divine favor and success. Joseph's ability to interpret dreams was not only a pivotal part of his own journey, but also a powerful demonstration of God's gifts. His dreams and their interpretations played a critical role in his rise to power and in the salvation of many lives during the famine. Joseph's story highlights the significance of recognizing and utilizing the gifts that God has given us. It encourages us to pay attention to our dreams and the talents we possess, understanding that they can be instruments through which God works in our lives and the lives of others. Joseph's life is a reminder that our gifts, when used faithfully, can lead to extraordinary outcomes and fulfill God's purposes. The story of Joseph is a timeless narrative that continues to resonate with people across generations. It is a powerful reminder of the resilience of the human spirit, the importance of forgiveness, and the sovereignty of God. Joseph's journey from a dreamer betrayed by his brothers to a powerful leader in Egypt is a testament to the transformative power of faith and integrity. His life encourages us to trust in God's plan, even when we face adversity, and to remain steadfast in our faith and principles. Joseph's legacy is one of hope, reminding us that God can use even the most challenging circumstances to bring about His purposes and blessings in our lives.